My friends, your current reality, the one you deem so fixed and unchangeable, is nothing more than a solidified dream. You've been conditioned, subtly and constantly, to believe that life happens to you, leaving you feeling utterly powerless. You find yourself trapped in cycles of struggle, of lack, of unfulfilled desires, watching your deepest hopes wither on the vine of external circumstances, perpetually out of reach, like a mirage in the desert. You yearn for something more, for true freedom, for mastery, but you doubt your very ability to achieve it. But I tell you, with the absolute certainty born of decades of experience and countless transformations, this is a grand illusion. I have witnessed countless individuals, myself included, transform their entire world, from the depths of poverty to unimaginable abundance, from debilitating sickness to vibrant health, from obscurity to profound recognition, simply by mastering the one power you already possess, the most magnificent power in the universe. Your own human imagination. This is not mere theory, it is demonstrable fact. In this profound hour we share, I will unveil the immutable laws that govern creation, laws as fixed and certain as gravity itself. I will show you exactly how to wield your imagination, not as a fanciful pastime, but as a deliberate, potent force to manifest your every noble desire. And critically, I will reveal the single biggest mistake most people make, the one fatal flaw that keeps them enslaved to circumstance. Ignore this and you remain a prisoner, forever reacting to the world. Embrace it, truly integrate it, and I promise you, absolute freedom, genuine mastery over your life will be yours. 1. The law of assumption. Your imagination is God in action. Listen to me now. The very first principle, the bedrock upon which all creation stands, is the law of assumption. It is the understanding that your imagination is not merely a faculty within you. It is the living God within you, the creative power of the universe itself. What you assume to be true, though your senses deny it, must eventually harden into fact. This is the immutable law. I recall vividly my own struggle in New York City. It was 1933. I desired above all else to return to Barbados, my home, but I was penniless, not a cent to my name. I felt trapped, bound by the very circumstances I had allowed to define me. My desire was overwhelming, yet the means were completely absent. I was in despair. My teacher, Abdullah, a master of these laws, looked at me with those piercing eyes and simply said, "You are in Barbados." He did not offer solutions for money or tickets. He gave me an assumption. He commanded me to feel myself to be there. The obstacle was absolute lack of funds. The principle was the law of assumption. I was to assume the feeling of being in Barbados. I was to live in that assumption. Every night, as I lay in my bed in New York, I would close my eyes and imagine the familiar sounds, the smells, the very texture of the air of Barbados. I felt the warmth of the sand between my toes, heard the waves crashing, saw my childhood home. I did not imagine going to Barbados. I imagined being in Barbados. I impressed upon my subconscious that I was there, and within weeks, a chain of events unfolded that defied all logic, leading to me sailing home with money I did not expect. Your subconscious mind, my friends, is not a reasoning mind. It is simply a recorder, an impressible servant that accepts as true whatever the conscious mind, through imagination and feeling, impresses upon it. When you assume a state, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious. This seed, once planted, must germinate and bring forth fruit. Your inner state, your dominant assumption, is always dictating your outer reality. It is the mechanism by which the unseen becomes seen. Most men mistakenly believe their outer circumstances dictate their inner state, constantly seeking external solutio. As to inner problems, they assume lack, limitation, and powerlessness, and then wonder why their world reflects it. The conscious creator, however, understands that the inner state always dictates the outer circumstance. He assumes the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and his world rearranges itself to mirror that inner reality. I now impress upon my subconscious mind the vibrant feeling of my wish fulfilled, and I know it manifests. Affirm aloud now, feel the power in these words. The belief that this is too good to be true is precisely what keeps the truth at bay. This is not too good to be true. It is the fundamental truth of your being. 3. Imaginal acts harden into fact. The bridge of incidents. Once your imaginal act is impressed upon the subconscious through the vehicle of feeling, it must harden into fact. The universe, in its infinite wisdom and limitless resources, will then construct a bridge of incidents, a series of events, encounters, and opportunities to lead you directly to the physical manifestation of your assumption. You do not need to concern yourself with the how. The how is the domain of your creative power, the God within. To return to my Barbados experience, I had no money, no connections, no logical path. But once I felt myself to be in Barbados, once that imaginal act was complete, the bridge began to form. An unexpected invitation to lecture, a sudden gift of money, a steamship ticket that simply appeared, all conspired to move me from New York to Barbados. I did nothing external to force these events. I simply maintained my inner assumption, and the outer world conformed. This is the unfolding of the divine plan, born from your deliberate inner act. The subconscious, once impregnated, begins to work in ways that are often beyond your comprehension. It activates latent connections, inspires seemingly random actions in others, and brings forth synchronistic events that appear miraculous. It is like a master architect, drawing up blueprints for your desired reality and then commanding the world to build it. It bypasses all your logical objections and goes straight to creation. Most men mistakenly believe they must actively force or manipulate circumstances, chasing after endless external solutions. They exhaust themselves trying to build the bridge with their own limited intellect. The conscious creator, however, plants the seed within, trusts the divine order to arrange the how, and then simply walks across the bridge of incidents that inevitably appears. He understands that trying to figure out the how is to doubt the power of the seed. In SATS, the veil between your conscious and subconscious mind is thinnest. It is in this profound state of relaxation that your assumptions bypass the logical mind's analysis and sink directly into the deepest levels of your being. This is why it is so potent. It is the most direct conduit to impress your desired reality onto the infinite intelligence that governs all things. This state bypasses the belief challenges of the conscious, critical mind entirely. Most men fight against sleep or squander these precious moments worrying about the day's troubles or planning tomorrow's anxieties. They enter sleep in a state of fear or lack, thereby impressing that very state upon their subconscious. The master, however, consciously utilizes these moments to impress the feeling of the wish fulfilled, planting seeds of abundance, love, and health directly into the fertile ground of their subconscious. I am the conscious architect of my reality, and my imagination in the state akin to sleep is the blueprint for my world. Say this with me, feel the truth of it. Your subconscious mind does not differentiate between a vividly imagined event and a physically experienced one. When you revise a past event in your imagination, complete with the feeling of the desired outcome, you are impressing a new memory upon your subconscious. This new impression overwrites the old, releasing you from its energetic hold and preventing it from manifesting similar negative experiences in your future. It literally reshapes the foundation upon which your future is built. Most men replay past hurts and failures endlessly in their minds, inadvertently reinforcing those negative patterns and guaranteeing their recurrence. They become prisoners of their own history. The free man, the conscious creator, uses the power of revision to cleanse his inner slate, transforming past sorrow into future joy and liberating himself from the chains of what was. Many people come to me, they learn these truths, they begin to apply them, and for a day or two they feel wonderful. But then a bill arrives, an old pattern resurfaces, a friend expresses doubt, and suddenly they collapse back into the old story. Their faith wavers, they begin to search for the how in the external world, frantically looking for a sign, a shortcut, a visible proof. And this, my friends, is where the creation is aborted. The internal tension of their doubt annihilates the imaginal act. Every thought, every feeling, every assumption you entertain is an instruction to your subconscious. If you plant a seed of desire and then immediately plant a seed of doubt, you are sending conflicting instructions. The subconscious, always striving for coherence, will then manifest a reality that reflects both your desire and your doubt, resulting in endless struggle, partial fulfillment, or complete negation. The subconscious responds to the dominant impression, but there is a way out of this trap. The way is to cultivate an unwavering inner conviction, a faith so profound that the external world simply ceases to have authority over your inner state. You learn to live from the end, not from the beginning of your desire. Most men allow sensory evidence to dictate their reality, constantly confirming their limitations and magnifying their fears. They are slaves to their perception. The master, however, understands that his imagination dictates reality. He dismisses contradictory sensory evidence as the fading shadows of a past, unwanted assumption, knowing his new assumption must prevail. 7. Living from the end. The master key to manifestation. This is the master key, the culmination of all these principles, living from the end. It means occupying the feeling of having already achieved your desire, right now, in this moment. It is not merely a fleeting thought, it is a persistent state of being, a dwelling in the consciousness of the wish fulfilled. Moses, seeing the promised land from afar, lived from the end of the journey, even when the path was arduous. William Blake, a profound mystic and poet, understood this implicitly, declaring, "What is now proved was once only imagined." He consistently taught that the external world is but a reflection of our internal imaginative state. To live from the end, ask yourself, if my desire were already a fact, how would I feel? What would I be doing? What would be different? Then, embody that feeling, perform those imagined actions, and dwell in that new reality as often as possible throughout your day. Speak from the end, act from the end, feel from the end. This collapses the space between desire and fulfillment, for in your inner world, the gap no longer exists. If you persist in telling the story of your lack, of your struggles, of your how-to-do-it anxieties, you are planting seeds of that very reality, and you will reap a harvest of continued struggle and lack. But if you bravely and persistently tell the story of your fulfillment, of your abundance, of your joy, even when your senses scream otherwise, you will witness a miraculous transformation in your outer world. The reward is liberation. The warning is continued bondage to circumstance. When you consistently live from the end, you are continuously impressing upon your subconscious a singular, coherent message of fulfillment. This sustained impression buoy LDS momentum, creating an undeniable gravitational pull that draws your desired reality into your physical experience with astonishing speed. It tells the subconscious, "This is my truth. This is what is." My consistent feeling of the wish fulfilled creates my desired reality with unwavering certainty. Repeat this daily, my friends, embed it in your soul. The idea that it's selfish to desire so much is a societal construct designed to keep you small. Your desires are the urges of God within you, seeking expression. To fulfill them is to glorify God, to express your divine nature. 8. Sustained assumption. The power of persistence, the final key. The essential ingredient to ensure your manifestations is sustained assumption. It is not enough to imagine once and then forget. You must persist in your assumption until it solidifies into fact. This does not mean constant effort. It means consistent dwelling in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It means returning to the inner vision, returning to the feeling every time doubt arises, every time the external world attempts to pull you back into the old story. Think of it as tending a garden. You plant a seed, you water it, you give it light. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's grown. You simply maintain the conditions for growth, patiently and persistently. Your inner garden is no different. Your imaginal act is the seed, your feeling is the water, your persistent assumption, living from the end, is the sunlight. The subconscious, while powerful, also requires consistency. A single impression, if not reinforced, can fade. But a sustained, repeated impression, especially in the receptive state of SATS and consistently throughout the day, creates an undeniable groove, a deep pathway for your desire to flow into physical manifestation. It literally rewires your brain and your entire being to align with the new reality. Most men give up too soon, believing that if their desire doesn't manifest overnight, it was never meant to be or the method doesn't work. They lack the faith to persist beyond the initial challenges. The master understands that sustained assumption is the furnace that forges reality, and he maintains his inner state regardless of outer appearances. He knows that persistence is the ultimate proof of faith. Here, my dear friends, is exactly how you will begin to consciously create your desired reality, starting today. 1. Define your desire. Be clear, specific, and concise about what you truly wish to experience. 2. Enter the state akin to sleep SATS. As you drift off tonight or awaken tomorrow, relax your body and mind. 3. Construct your imaginal scene. Create a short, vivid, first-person scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. See what you would see, hear what you would hear, and feel what you would feel if your desire were already a physical fact. 4. Feel the wish fulfilled. This is paramount. Generate the emotional signature of already having it. The relief, the joy, the peace. Dwell in that feeling. 5. Live from the end. Throughout your day, whenever possible, return to that feeling. Walk, talk, and act as if your desire is already a settled fact. Dismiss all contradictory sensory evidence as illusion. 6. Revise what needs revising. If old hurts or negative patterns emerge, use revision to rewrite them in your imagination. 7. Persist. Return to this inner activity daily, especially in SATS, until your outer world conforms. Do not waver. If you apply these immutable laws with discipline and faith, I promise you, you will witness the manifestation of your desires within weeks, if not days, and certainly within a matter of months. Your world will transform. My past dictates my future. No, your present imagination of the past dictates your future. Use revision. I'm not strong, smart, lucky enough. This is a lie. Your imagination is the creative power of God. You are infinitely powerful. It's selfish to desire so much. Your desires are divine impulses. To deny them is to deny the expression of God. External circumstances control me. They are mere reflections of your past assumptions. Your inner world controls your outer world. This is too good to be true. This is the fundamental truth of your being. It is the law. How can imagination truly change physical reality? By impressing the subconscious with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, compelling the universe to create a bridge of incidents. What is the real secret behind? Feeling is the secret. It's the language the subconscious understands, the emotional signature that impregnates the creative soil. How do I stop past failures from sabotaging my future? Through the powerful tool of revision, by rewriting your past in your imagination. Is it truly possible to manifest anything I desire? Absolutely, for all things are possible to him who believes. What is the greatest obstacle to conscious creation? Persistent doubt and an unwavering focus on external, contradictory evidence. Now, my friends, the choice is unequivocally yours. Will you continue to be a passive victim, forever reacting to the solidified dreams of old, limiting assumptions? Or will you embrace your divine birthright, step into your power, and become the conscious, deliberate creator of your desired reality, wielding your magnificent imagination as the very power of God? The laws have been revealed. The path has been illuminated. Return to this teaching daily. Play this again and again. Let these truths sink deep into your soul until they become the very fabric of your being. For you are more magnificent than you have ever dared to imagine. You are the creator. Go forth and create.